Wait. Ah! There we go. There we go. That didn't work out. That didn't work out as much as well as I thought it would. Anyway, hey Nuggets, welcome to the. I guess we're at the Yakiniku restaurant right now. Whoops. Whoops. You saw nothing. You saw nothing before this. We've been in the Yakiniku restaurant this entire time. Just grilling. And eating some meat. I guess veggies too. Who eats veggies in the Yakiniku restaurant? I can't. I don't even know. I don't even know. But apparently some people do. Anyway. So yes, so today I wanted to do a... Actually, the original idea for today was to... What was it? The original idea today was just like review some food. Some snacks from the Tokyo Treat box. But I figured I was gonna do this other thing anyway, later. That's a lot better. And so I figured, why not just do it today? Why not just do it today? So yeah, I figured just get the good meat out today. We'll cook the good meat today. Party until the new year hits. We got 3 hours we have 3 hours until it happens. So it's like, why not? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. So I think after a little bit. Ow, crap. Actually, I forgot to grab something. Hold up. I need to grab some water. I need some water. Water, water, water. Here's the thing. I have some things out that I probably should have prepped a little while ago, actually. Oh crap, the meat's burning. The meat is burning. That's a little bit too done. That's way too done. Who actually eats meat this crispy? I don't eat meat this crispy. That's way too crispy. Way too burnt for my taste. I like it a little bit charred, maybe a little slightly undercooked, but that's okay. Anyway, that's enough for the appetizers. That's enough appetizers. Where the heck is this window? There we go. We'll get to the real thing now. Background music is on. That's okay. So, let me move over to the cooking station and we'll get started there. Let's see. What? Ah! Hopefully things are going to be a little bit better tonight quality-wise. I got some new lights in that hopefully will make the camera work a lot better. Alright, let's see. Probably should also turn off the BGM now, because we're going to be going in cooking mode here soon. There we go. Alright. Let's see, how is this going to work? How is this going to work? So, today we have some really good stuff that we are going to be working on. Before that, I need to make some dashi. For the sukiyaki that we're going to be having. I didn't realize this, but apparently sukiyaki is a mix of dashi and soy and like the sukiyaki sauce. But I have this like instant dashi mix. It has a bunch of stuff in it, like some dried fish, mushrooms, I guess some seaweed, 2 different kinds of seaweed, the meat bonito flakes, and something else like I can't quite figure out. Oh, there it is. Dried bonito kelp, some small sardines, some herring, flying fish. I don't know if that makes a difference, but apparently flying fish is an ingredient. Shiitake mushrooms as well as all the... There's also tea here. There's tea. There's 2 different kinds of tea and soy sauce powder apparently in this thing. So I already have some hot water portioned out over here. Some hot water portioned out. And I'm just gonna put like one of these bags in there. This is basically what it is. It's just like a little bag of stuff. Just drop that in there. And I'm gonna let that sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm basically just making soup tea. Basically just making this like tea. Meanwhile, we are going to get the other part of the sukiyaki sauce going. Should have had the heat on earlier. And I really can't do this next part until the tea making is done, apparently, because I need cups, and I only have 1 thing of cup here. And the thing of cup here is being taken up by a tea bag. But let's get a preview really quick on what is going to be served tonight. So, I think I did a little bit too much of a splurge on this one because I've been kind of wanting to get some really fancy ingredients for a meal at some point. And the main star for today, before the main star for today, I did get some sake. I have some sake here that I've had before. Well, one of them I've had before. So we have here a Texas sake junmai, Texas Sake Company. There's a junmai type of sake. As you can probably see, it's a little bit chilled right now because apparently this has to be served chilled around 45 degrees. So I have it on ice, but this is actually a really good brand of sake. I've had this one before. Really goes down really smooth. We're gonna have some as we eat later. And trying to find some other information here, but I don't think really there's much other than the information as far as what to expect when drinking the sake. Let me see if I can make that a little bit clearer. That's really all you can expect. Not very fragrant, quiet, dry, and I guess a balance. It's really clean. Basically, it's a really clean flavor for sake. We also have today a oak sake. Now, I don't know if sake companies in Japan typically add anything else to their sake, like oak and stuff like that. For some reason, though, I don't know why I don't know why Westerners in general like the taste of wood in their alcoholic beverages. I just don't understand it. But we have oak here. I think I've tried this one before. I forgot how it tastes like though. It's not my go-to. It's quite on the strong side as far as flavor goes, and you can kind of see here on this infographic that they have in the back that you should expect it to be fairly strong. Now here's one I don't think I've seen before. I haven't seen this one before. It's a little hard to see. It's probably a little bit wet also. This is a barrel-aged sake, Taruzake. Supposedly, this is a whiskey type of sake. I don't know anything about this. It is a 4-grain whiskey sake. I'm not a whiskey person myself. I don't typically drink hard drinks. Sake is like closer to wine. Here we have a 20% alcohol, 4-grain whiskey sake. So we're gonna try these later, and we're gonna try these later as we cook the dishes. Happy New Year, Sruka. She can't stay. It's Taiga's sleeping time, but she can't wait to see how it comes out together. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Taiga. Thanks for dropping by. Also, Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to you too. Glad you could drop by. I'm just right now preparing some dashi. I think this dashi is done. Basically, it's a tea bag of ingredients. There's actually some actual tea in here, shiitake powder, soy sauce powder also apparently, as well as some fish bits. But it's basically steeping like a tea. So, but this is my dashi for today, and I'm waiting for this to be done. I think it should be done. And this pot right now is heating up so I can make the sukiyaki sauce, because we need like a mixture of sukiyaki sauce and dashi for the actual sukiyaki. While that was heating up, we got some introductions on the drinks, and I will show you what we are doing today as far as the main ingredient. So this is the main ingredient. I'm trying not to have it over the heat for too long. Actually, let's go over, not go over the heat. Because this is some, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, this is real 100% A5 Wagyu from Miyazaki Prefecture. Now, you probably heard of Kobe beef. This is Miyazaki beef. Miyazaki A5 Wagyu. And as you can see here, how fatty that thing is, all the marbling in that. That is, I think this is about as fatty, if not fattier, than what I had in Japan as far as Kobe beef is concerned. Let me show you really quick a picture of what my Kobe beef was when I went to Japan, so that we can compare this and what I had before. It's not my first time having like a really fancy beef, but it is like my second time. It is very I guess not that, it's expensive, definitely pricey for 1 pound. But here's what I had in Kobe. And you can see we have, you can see the one in the picture. There's 2 different types of marbling there. I think it's also 2 different cuts. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember anymore. I do have the receipt. I can't read it. But for that meal, it wasn't actually too bad. Let me get the receipt really quick, because I'm kind of curious. I just want to show you what how pricey we're talking about as far as meals are concerned. So the beef that's up on the picture, that's from the Kobe beef restaurant for sukiyaki. Most people have it as a steak. I haven't had it as a steak before, so I don't know how rich that is. But here is the receipt for that. And the grand total for that is like about 15,000 yen for that entire plate. It's actually not terrible. Not terrible. It's still expensive, not gonna lie, it is expensive. But considering that feeds like 2 people, and I don't know how many pounds that is, probably close to 500 grams or something. Fairly reasonable as far as I can say. Fairly reasonable. 15K, yes, it's expensive. I know it's expensive. But considering what you normally hear about for like steak for Kobe beef, like I think around 100 to 200 grams of Kobe beef is gonna set you up off about that much also. But for sukiyaki, it's not bad. For sukiyaki, it's not bad. So you're getting like more beef with the sukiyaki as well as other ingredients, as opposed to just a steak, you know? That's my reasoning with that. But yes, we have here 3 slices of Miyazaki A5 Wagyu. And I think this is not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. There's like a little bit more than half a pound. I think that's, what is that? 2 to 300, like maybe not even 200 grams. Someone do the conversion for me, please. I think that's not even 200 grams. But that's what we're going to be working with. So yes. I'm going to keep that on ice because the fat does melt pretty easily. So that's going to be on ice as well as the drinks. Drinks are also on ice. The tea, the dashi tea has been done for a while, so I think I'm just gonna yoink this. I'm gonna yoink this. Woo! Why is that sizzling? Why is that sizzling? That is sizzling. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside into a bowl because I need that cup. I need that cup for the sukiyaki sauce that we'll be making. And where is my trash bin? Trash bin's here. Okay. So that aside, we are gonna make the sukiyaki sauce. If I remember correctly, we're gonna be doing quite a bunch of different things. We got cooking sake here. You can use like regular cooking wine if you want to. I don't think it makes too much of a difference, but this is actually alcoholic. It's like 15% alcohol. So we're gonna be doing 1 cup of sake, 1 cup of cooking sake. Right about there. That's a little too hot. Okay, I think I scorched that a little bit. Scorched it just a tiny bit. Happy New Year. I'm here barely awake eating my McDonald's at home. Welcome, Mars. Welcome. Happy New Year to you too. We're making some a sauce for our sukiyaki. I just made the dashi. I introduced the ingredients we'll be using as far as the main dish. But we got to make the sauce first so that once the sauces are made, it's going to cool down. And I'll be cutting up the ingredients and then we'll be putting it together afterwards. But that's 1 cup of sake. I have here Mirin in a bottle. So this is Texas sake junmai, and I think this is like the old design of the bottle. I still have this from when I first had that sake. But I actually have like Mirin in here and not actual sake. So we're not doing sake and sake. We're doing sake and Mirin. 1 cup, I think is I don't think I have. Oh, I'm actually out of this. I think I had barely 1 cup left in there, so that's going in. That's going in. Ooh, it's also smelling very alcoholic right now. I'm gonna get so drunk tonight, it's not even gonna be funny. We're not done yet though, because I think I also have to add 1 cup of soy sauce. Now I don't have any kikkoman, okay? I don't have any kikkoman, so I'm just going to be using the soy sauce I do have, which is the Filipino soy sauce. I think this is going to be a little bit darker than the soy sauce used in the recipe I found, but hopefully it's not going to screw it up too much. So 1 cup of that also. That's a big pot of stuff already. And we are going to need something else. What else am I missing? What else am I missing for this? Crap. I know I'm missing another liquid. One cup sake, 1 cup mirin, 1 cup soy sauce, sugar. We need some sugar in here also. So 1/4 cup of sugar. I am not gonna measure that out because as you can see here, our measuring cup is already wet and I'm gonna lose some stuff there. So instead I'm just gonna dump it in directly and kind of eyeball what 1/4 cup is gonna look like. this might be a mistake. I think maybe about half of this, or maybe a little bit less than half of this, is 1/4 cup. Okay, I'm gonna call that 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of that. I'm just gonna stir this, and I don't want to burn this. It's still midnight there. It is not midnight yet. I have the clock on the upper left corner. It is, I think, about 9:30, almost 9:30, and basically I'm stalling for time until until midnight. We're not in a rush today. We're not in a rush today. So I did do some prep work ahead of time before stream. The stuff that takes a little bit of time and is a little bit messy. Let me show you that while this thing is heating up. But one of the things I kind of prepped ahead of time is these things called Shirataki. I'm not sure what else they're called, but basically, you see this little weird jelly things, the weird jelly noodle things? These are basically veggie noodles. Not sure if you've seen this before, but this is used in a bunch of hot pot stuff. And basically what it is, it's like konnyaku jelly. Konnyaku jelly, and it's basically mostly water, to be honest. So I just rinsed this out, drained it, and we're gonna have this in the hot pot. So that was done ahead of time. Also, another thing done ahead of time was making some grilled tofu. So this is a firm tofu that I basically pressed the water out of, and I put in the air fryer for about 20 minutes at, I think, 360 or 370 degrees Fahrenheit. And I let that cool down. So there's a little bit of condensation because of that. But we're gonna be putting this also. We're gonna chop this up and put this in the sukiyaki later. Okay, no, don't go too high. I need this to like boil a little bit. I need this to boil a little bit, and then I can set it aside, let it cool down, and then we're gonna chop some veggies to put in the sukiyaki. But yeah, for people who are in the new year already, in the future, what is the future like? What is 2023 like? How is it? Also, do you guys have any New Year's resolutions or anything like that? I would like to hear them. No one's told me their New Year's resolutions yet. I have seen some people's New Year's resolutions here and there, but no one's told me what their New Year's resolutions are. So I'm kind of curious. Oh my gosh, the amount of sake in here is making me nervous, to be honest. That was 15%. 15% divided by, let's say, 3. I think this is gonna be like about 5% alcohol. Remember what I said last time, or maybe not remember, but I mentioned this before. Sake, or at least alcohol, doesn't evaporate completely until like about 2 hours worth of boiling. This little bit of boiling, that's still gonna have a lot of alcohol in there, and I am gonna get drunk just eating and not even drinking. So that's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be a thing today. The broth though right now, not too sweet, a little bit on the salty side, because I think of the soy sauce I use. It's a little bit too salty, but maybe it's okay because it's gonna be diluted with the dashi later also. So maybe it's gonna be okay. It's salty though. Salty with a hint of sugar, a little bit of sweetness. Just need a little bit of a boil. Just watching the boil a bit. Okay, that's good enough. Take that off, and I'm gonna set that aside. Hopefully, where can I set this aside and not have it burn things? Okay. Setting it on the desk. Hopefully that's good enough. We're gonna turn this off for now. We're gonna come back to the hot plate later. Oh, okay. We're gonna have to get you later also. All right. So while that stuff is cooling, we are going to get ready with some ingredients that we need to prepare. All right, let's see, where's my stuff here? I want to work from dry to wet just because it's gonna be the cleanest thing. Okay, knife. We're bringing it's a special day, so we're bringing out the fancy knife. The fancy knife. Okay, so driest thing I have are these bok choys. So normally I think for this type of dish we use Napa cabbages, but I already had these bok choys growing in the arrow garden, so it's like I'll just use this. I think it'll work. I'll just use the bok choy. I haven't used these yet because I was waiting for them to grow big enough so I can use them in what do you call this? A stir fry. Stir fry day never came, but hot pot did. Hot pot day did. So I mean, see, I don't know how many of these we're gonna need though. This is 3, 4. I don't think we need to chop this one, but I'm gonna chop the bottom just because. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. With cabbages you'd like chop. But with this one, stems. We're gonna keep the stems as is. And maybe just chop this in half. Just chop that in half. That should be good enough. This is going to shrink anyway. With the cabbages, they don't shrink that much, but these are going to shrink like there's no tomorrow. So yeah, let's keep doing that for a bit. Some of the leaves look a little bit yellow. I think they'll be fine. Question mark? Question mark. Hey, Workshop. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? Is it New Year's in your place yet? If it is, Happy New Year's. If not, then maybe we can get into the New Year's together. We're just prepping some ingredients for the Sukiyaki while we're just prepping some ingredients for the Sukiyaki. We're not waiting for anything, to be honest. I'm just trying to get stuff prepped now. That's a lot of leaves, but I feel like I need to chop some more leaves. I think there's like a last batch of leaves. I'm hoping this is going to be good. I tested one of these just raw before, and it was super bitter. It was super bitter. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Are leaves supposed to be super bitter before you cook them? I don't know. It's not watery. This stuff is nice crunchy though, so we'll keep that. We'll keep that. Yeah. Don't. There we go. Big leaves. Big leaves. Okay. So there's that. Got some leek. A leek that I've been working on. I think this will be more than enough for what we're using. We're just gonna chop this into pieces, but I think I need to like chop it a certain way. We can't just chop it the boring way, apparently. I don't know why. So I think I need to be like chopping it this way or something. Like chop, 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 chop. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Oh, it's not very clear. Let's try that again. Maybe zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's try that again. So it's like chop, 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 chop. I don't think this is proper technique, to be honest. It probably is not proper technique, but that's what we're doing today. It's a slant. Why is it a slant? Why can't I just chop like straight down? Why does it have to be like a slicing slant motion? Okay, there we go. We got our little pile of leeks now. I have more leeks if I need it, but I think this is okay for now. This should be okay. So we got leeks, we got bok choy, we got the shirataki. I'll go ahead and set out some shirataki for this one. Let's put some shirataki on this plate. You don't see the plate yet. I'm going to show the plate at the end, after the prep is done. Let's do four. There we go. Okay, next least wet. I have some shiitake mushrooms. Let's do 4. 4 mushrooms is pretty good for this. I think for this one, we just need to pop the stems out. Pop the stems out. I've seen some recipes where they discard the stems. We're not doing that today. I don't know why you have to discard the stems. We're not doing that today. We're going to keep the stems. We're going to put in the sukiyaki. It's a little bit wet. Now, supposedly if you want to, you can like make a design on here. Kind of like a little star or something. This one's not very good. This one's not very good. I'm just gonna put that to the side. Let's try that again. Let's try it again. So how does a star go? I think it goes like this, and then like this. And then you pop this out, and then you pop this out, and it looks like a piece of crap, kind of, a little bit. Okay, nope, you did not slice yourself. You're okay. This is a very sharp knife though, so I should be careful. I should be a little bit more careful. This is wrong. This looks wrong. I have never claimed to be able to do like artsy stuff when it comes to food. So that's the most you're gonna get there for now. How do you do this anyway? How do you do the fancy cuts on the foods? I do not understand. I do not understand. Let's see. Because it seems like all presentation, as you've probably seen before in many pictures, Japanese food is like a lot of presentation. And it looks nice. It looks nice. It doesn't do anything for the flavor itself, but you know, people say it makes the meal more delicious just from looking at it. And just thinking about it, it does make me kind of hungry right now. I did eat earlier. I ate like a rice dish. Okay, that's getting a little bit better, but still not great. Still not great. Let's see, let's try one more time. How do we do this actually? So it's like 1, 2. Maybe it's a slice here, slice here, slice here, and slice here. Is that it? Does it go like that? I don't think it goes like that. Definitely does not go like that. I'm making like, you know what? We'll just make this a Triforce mushroom. If Mario ever gets a hold of this, he has the power of the Triforce and the Mushroom Kingdom at the same time. So why not? That's going to be basically our stylized mushrooms that we're going to be using for the hot pot later. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And we have like some mushroom scraps here, the little bits. We're going to be using that as well as these stems. I think I just need to slice this to where it's not too tough, like down the center or something. Okay, I got one more. I think just in threes is fine. This is good. We got more mushroom parts. No waste here. No waste. Just set that aside for now. Set that aside. We also have a second type of mushroom here. Now, normally for this, you would use like Enoki mushrooms, like these really thin straw type mushrooms that you see a lot in soups. This is similar. It's quite a bit thicker, as you can see, not thinner. And there's really no preparation to this. We don't even have to like slice them. There is, however, this bit at the end where they get harvested. I've always removed this. I don't know what other people do with this. I've always removed this and not used it because I know where that came from. So at the very least, maybe I'll just chop this bottom part off. Let's just chop that bottom part off and everything else is edible. What is going on with my computer? Okay, I thought something fell. I did not want to fall. Okay, so that's all the prep we need to do with this one. And this part, that's gonna go... This one we actually probably have to trash. I don't want to, but it's probably safer to. See, set that aside, clean up the board a little bit. Okay, I think we have one more ingredient that we need to slice. One more ingredient. And then we can start putting together the sukiyaki for tonight. Okay, so our last ingredient here is going to be the air fried tofu, or grilled tofu, I guess, in this case. So I just want to like do these in chunks. I can either do like thick chunks or thin chunks. I think what I want to do though is probably on the thicker side. Probably on the thicker side, though I'm kind of tempted to just slice it this way. Slice it this way to make it thinner. Just like this. And just blocks. And as you can see, inside is not grilled, but that's kind of how it works. So all right, I think I'm done chopping here. Just gonna clean my knife off. I don't have a paper towel or any towel, so hopefully this doesn't rust when I give it a proper cleaning later. There we go. Okay, I think for the hot pot per serving, maybe we can go for like 6 blocks or something, like this much. Like just this much here. This should be good enough. If I need more, I can always put more. Okay. Gonna set the rest of the extras aside, and then we will get to the cooking. This is gonna be a mess. Gonna be a mess later. That's okay. But yeah, let's take a look really quick on the ingredients that we do have right now. So let's zoom out a bit. So here we are. We have all the bok choy in the world, some shiitake mushrooms, some leek over here, some fried tofu, the shirataki over here on the side, and since we can't fit it, the straw mushrooms. I think these are what was on the package? What did this thing call it? It's not Enoki for sure, but it's some other type of straw mushroom. So we have all of this. I'm gonna take a picture of that really quick before we move on. And why is my... Oh, why are you not charging? Why are you actually not charging? Oh, that's not good. Sec, I need to fix my camera here. It is about to die, and I can't have it die. So it's gonna get a little dark. Moving the lights a little bit to another source. And then hopefully this will be okay. Are you charging now? You're actually charging now, good. And then lights. Lights are good now, good. Lots of USBs. Lots of USBs. Okay, let me just take a picture of this really quick. Basically, this is going to be the bulk of our dish tonight, mostly veggies because the meat is super expensive and there's not going to be a whole lot of meat there. But it looks nice, right? This looks pretty nice, I think. Okay, let's set this aside. Let's get the burner back on here. Let's get the burner back on here. But also, I need to figure out what to do with the meat. The meat is going to be a little bit tough to work with, not because it's tough, but only because we only have so few pieces. Like, let me show you again because we're about to work on this thing. We only have 3 pieces of beef. 1, 2, 3 pieces. And let's see how thick they are first before we do anything with it. I also need to connect a few things. With a burner. Okay, that's connected. Good. Let's go ahead and get the pan out. So that starts heating up a little bit. We are gonna set this to about 350 degrees Celsius, not Celsius, Fahrenheit. 350 degrees Celsius is too much. Way too much. Okay, move this up a little bit. All right. So let's look at our beef here. If I can figure out how to open this thing. All right, let's open this. So there's a little bit of blood here that probably should blot out. And you grab paper towel really quick to take care of that. But we're gonna look at a slice to see what we're working with, because I don't know how thick these things are. Okay. Where do I put this thing? I guess it's back to the cutting board. Set the mushroom aside. Cutting board, let's put one piece of meat, because we need to start off with one piece of meat. Just trying to get some ice right now to keep the rest of the meat cool, because the fat does melt pretty easily. Like it barely touching it, it's already melting. It's that tender, I guess. It's also a little bit frozen still. I wasn't sure how long to thaw this for, but a little chilled is good for our purposes. Just gonna dry it a little bit off to the side here. It's a little bit difficult to get on screen. But here we go. Here is the meat we are going to be working with. It is not very thick. As you can see here, it's not very thick. But we do need to start off this dish with like one piece of meat so that we can get the juices and such. So we can get the juices and such in the pan. You could start off with oil. If you were using a not so expensive piece of meat, but still equally marbled, you can do that. But we're not doing that today. We're just gonna go straight into this. However, I'm kind of tempted to like slice this in half. I'm tempted to slice this in half, so we use a little bit of beef first and then put the rest in. Because we, like I said, we don't have much. We only got 3 pieces here. 3 pieces of super high quality beef, basically. So, Ohio from Vietnam. Akimashite omedetou. Akimashite omedetou, Oliver, Ollie. So here we have the, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. We are about to actually start putting all this together. I am kind of tempted to just slice this in half though, because we only have like 3 pieces. So I think I'm gonna just slice this one in half. I'm gonna slice this one in half, and the rest of them are gonna be full. Going all out for the new year, huh? Yeah, it wasn't the original plan, but yes, we are. Let's go ahead and this is painful to do because I don't have much. We're gonna do this much first for the starting off the dish. We're gonna start this off. We're gonna start off with this, and then we'll add in the meat as we go along, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to start off with one piece of meat, oil it up, one piece of meat, oil it up, and then put all the other ingredients in and put the meat in later. That's how you do the sukiyaki. That's how you get the meat lasting for as long as you can, basically. Because holy crap, it'd be expensive. It's expensive, and like even though it was as expensive as it was, I kind of wish I got 2 packs. But it's supposed to also be like super, what do you call it, super heavy. So maybe 1 pack is enough. Supposedly the serving for 1 person is like what is it, 200 grams or something? 1 to 200 grams of meat, which doesn't sound like a lot. But anyway, let's get this started. First meat, no oil, just the oil that I was blessed with. We pray, we give thanks to the beef that we are about to consume and cook. Here we go. See how fast that cooks? See how fast that cooks? I think I'm going to lower the temperature down just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to lower the heat down a little bit. I need to figure out how much of the sukiyaki sauce I'm going to use. I think I need to use 1 cup of the dashi, but I'm not quite so sure about the sukiyaki. Let's see. 1 cup dashi, and then half of the sukiyaki. That's a lot of sukiyaki. That's a lot of sukiyaki. Okay. Let's do the dashi first. No, let's do the sukiyaki sauce first. Here we go. And then some dashi to go with that. Now we can turn on the heat on a little bit more. See, how am I supposed to do this? Okay, so I think what I'm supposed to do is wait for this to boil a little bit before we take our first piece of beef out and get started on it, basically. So we're just right now making the initial broth for the sukiyaki. This seems like a lot of broth, even for me. But we also want this piece of beef to soak in all this stuff that's in right now. I'm getting hungry. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm getting hungry. Alright. I think part of the sukiyaki experience though is to like have like a bowl of egg to dip the sukiyaki in. So I'm gonna go in and do that. Right there. Now, supposedly, you're not supposed to do this with North American eggs. Japanese eggs are clean, and you can do that. Not supposed to do this with any other eggs, but I will tonight. So, just a fair warning for anyone who wants to do this with their local eggs, and may or may not get sick from it. I am taking the risk, so that you don't have to. You don't have to. But I need to like beat this up. We're not cooking that. There's going to be a raw egg that the beef is going to be dipped in, basically. Okay. And we're just waiting for this to boil a little bit more, I guess. I feel like this is a huge piece of meat, and it's not, since it's not like sliced very thinly. I think we can get away with slicing the rest of the Wagyu in like 4s or something. Because this one's not shrinking much. Normally what you get with a hot pot meat is like super paper thin pieces of meat, right? And it becomes like all shriveled up and such, but this is more like a... it's not shriveling up as much. There's more like a big piece of meat that probably should not be cooked in such big portions because it's pretty big. It's not bite-sized. It's not going to be bite-sized by the time we're done with it. Let's go ahead and give this a try though. I'm going to shake it off a little bit. And I'm going to put it in here. Just dip it in that egg. And itadakimasu. God. That is soft. That is extremely tender. That's really good. That's super good. That's some super good piece of beef. We're gonna have to cut the rest in smaller pieces because it's too big. But it's pretty good. Someone is starting New Year's Eve, right? You know it. Also, hey Crow, welcome. How's it going? Do you have any? Again, I'll ask chat again. Do any of you have any New Year's resolutions or things you want to do in the new year? It doesn't have to be a resolution, just goals for the next year, kind of thing. It's gone now. We'll keep going. So with the initial thing done, we need to get some veggies in here started. So that's what we're going to do. Get some veggies in there. Because it's going to be used for broth and noodles and stuff later, if we have enough. Gonna toss everything that I have so far, except the green onions. I'm gonna save that for a round 2 if we get to a round 2. I mean, I do have another like stock in the fridge, but I don't want to take it off. I don't have to. Too much of a hassle. But the veggies will just pile it on there. Pile that on there. As well as the shirataki, these things. Resolution, be better than I was last year. Indeed. That's also my resolution. I figure I should make some specific resolutions for the channel though, or at least specific goals for the channel, which once we get into a better cooking mode here, then I'll talk about it. I'm just gonna put all the leaves in that I have because we're not gonna be doing this again. These are all the leaves I have right now, and we're not gonna be able to get more. Oh, I missed something. I missed the straw mushrooms. Let me just get half of those really quick. I have like a tray of. I have this tray of mushrooms, so we're just gonna take like half of these and stick them in there somewhere. And we are just gonna let them simmer. No need to rush cooking them. Just gonna let them simmer. I'm gonna go ahead and slice up the rest of the beef that we have. Gonna slice them up into. I'm gonna slice them up into like quarters and such. How was the visit back home? So I didn't go home. I went to my cousin's place, and it was all right. That's the most I can say about it. It was an all right visit. Part of me kind of wished that I didn't go, but that was because it was pretty chaotic. It was pretty chaotic. Wasn't a fan of the atmosphere. Chaotic because of some stuff that happened. Not gonna explain that. Just know that it was a little bit chaotic for my taste, and kind of wish I didn't go. But hopefully, if I go again, it's gonna be a little bit better. So yes. Other than that, got some food out of it. That's always good. The trash is piling up, as it always does. Okay, so that's boiling on the side. Let me see if I can get you a clear shot of what I'm slicing up over here on the other side. Nope. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Yeah, one silver lining. Okay, so this size of meat was a little bit too big. That was too big, so we're gonna have to like cut it smaller. I wasn't expecting the meat to hold together as much as it did, but then again, this is not like a very thin slice of hot pot meat. This is a little bit thicker than hot pot meat, maybe like 10 times thicker than hot pot meat, I feel like. Like, you see this? I think that's like at least 2 or 3 times thicker, so I need to make it smaller. I need to make this smaller, like maybe this big? This big will be good. I'm gonna make the meat about that big in slice. That way this meal is gonna last longer. The meat meal is gonna last longer. So yeah. Let's see. It's really hard to get this angle. Really hard. But I'm gonna try my best so you can see the slices. How was everyone's holidays, by the way? I should have asked that first. How was everyone's holidays? Good, I hope. So, I think it's like this. Man, thank goodness for a super sharp knife. I can cut this in awkward angles, and the only one who's probably gonna chew me out is Chat for having cut meat in awkward angles. But this is so thick. This is so sharp. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I do not care. Like right there. Also, did anyone notice that the stream is a little bit brighter than usual? I got some lights. I got some lights and I think it helped quite a bit. Camera, I did not get a new camera for stream. However, I did get a GoPro. I've always been against the GoPro for whatever reason. I just think it's the battery life on it is not great. And I've actually bought one before to try out and did not like it because of the fisheye lens effect. I don't like that effect one bit, and it's really hard to get rid of. But I figured if I'm going to be hiking, if I'm going to be hiking in Japan this coming October, I may want to get some really nice camera shots from that. So that's happening in one way. Let's go ahead and put some meat on here. Gonna toss some meat in. Just a few pieces. Let's start with a few pieces here. And we're just gonna let that cook slowly. Tofu also needs a little bit of love here. Tofu needs soaking, mushrooms need soaking, meat is soaking. The bok choy is basically gonna get shriveled, so I'm just gonna eat this as we go. Dakimasu. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Underestimated how hot this thing was. Also, the broth is a little salty, so I'm adding a little bit more dashi in here. Let's see. Maybe like 2 things of dashi. I don't have much dashi left, so hopefully this will be enough. That's good, but I was saying for the food pics. No, so what you're seeing right now is not a new camera, it's lights. These are all lights, which I suspected was my issue to begin with. I just don't have enough lighting. And now that we have more lighting, I think it looks a little bit better. I do think it looks quite a bit better. Let's try some shirataki. I'm not quite fond of this, but it is part of the meal, so let's go with that. Gatmas. That's pretty good. I'm gonna add some. I'm gonna add a few more shirataki in here. It's nice and crunchy. It doesn't really have any flavor on its own. This little thing takes up the flavor of whatever's in it. Whatever it's in. Also, I feel like I need more sugar. I feel like sukiyaki is a typically sweet dish, but this one's not sweet enough because probably of the soy sauce I used. It's not a light soy sauce, so I'm gonna add what little sugar I have left into here. Just sprinkle that in. Hopefully that'll be enough. People forget that sugar is a spice. Like we assume sugar is only to be used in desserts, but if you think about it, a lot of dishes and condiments use sugar. And so what I did was perfectly normal as far as I'm concerned. I just don't do it enough. You know, we just don't do it enough. Holidays were quiet. Was expecting things with friends, but plans fell through. Well, hopefully things are better for the next event whenever that happens. Yeah, I don't think I had any other plans for New Year's anyway. Let's see this mushroom. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're in a good spot as far as the flavor of this thing is. It's not too sweet, but it definitely has a little bit of sweetness. I think the recipe asked for brown sugar. Brown sugar for the sugar portion, but I don't have any brown sugar, so no extra molasses flavor or anything like that. But this is pretty good though. It's still pretty good as is. Oh, that's hot. Turning the heat down just a little bit more because I feel like this is boiling a little bit too much. But yeah, the plan right now for us as we're doing this is just to, you know, chat as apparently I do a mukbang here because we are essentially in mukbang territory now with the amount of food that we got here. Am I going to be able to finish everything? Probably not. But I won't be surprised if I finish most, if not all of this in the next 1.5 hours or so. I just feel like that's going to happen. Also, where's my ice pack? Ice pack needs to go on the beef. You see this? I'm doing beef desecration right now. The beef is down here. Ice pack goes on top. I need that chilled so that it doesn't melt on the board. So that's what's happening with that one because I'm not putting it all in right now. So forgive me for any beef, for any preparation purists out there. I'm just doing what I can. Doing what I can. Okay, this is good. I think that's good. Oh gosh. Nothing is so soft. Super soft. No chewing. You just bite through it, and it's a little. The fat is a little chewy, probably because I didn't cook it enough. But otherwise, the meat itself is super. What do you call this? Super tender. Super tender. Let's see. I know what would make it disappear faster. Alcohol. Hold up a sec. Hold up a sec. Let me just get this tofu. Tofu's good. Tofu's good. So alcohol, right? Let's reintroduce the alcoholic friends that we have brought to this party. They are all from the same place by the name of Texas Sake Company. This is a brand in Austin, Texas. I have had this one before, and I think I've had another one before, but I don't remember the flavor. But this is my favorite sake that I've had. I haven't had Japanese sake yet, though, oddly enough. Oddly enough, I haven't had Japanese sake, but this is pretty good. It's very clean. Let me just show you what we're dealing with here. I'm going to go over here to the side. So we have a little bit of hot pot action going here, and then we have the non-hot pot action here. No fizz, obviously. So this is chilled already. Junmai sake in the, don't know if you can tell, in the Toho cup. I got a Toho cup from a as a gift from a friend. No, I bought this one actually. I bought this one. This was not a gift. I bought this one from a gacha. It was a gacha sake cup. But let's give this a shot. Look at the color here. It's a little bit straw-ish color. Not exactly clear. Chilled. There's a little bit of aftertaste here that I don't quite remember. It does go down pretty smoothly. Almost like water. But that little tint that you see in the glass has a little bit of a ricey aftertaste. I mean, it is rice, but I don't expect ricey aftertaste most of the time. Maybe this is just a different batch. I remember it being much cleaner going down. There's a little bit of a burn, not too much. That one's not as I remember. It's still pretty good though. Still pretty good. Let's chase that with some food here. Otherwise, we're gonna be too drunk to do much of anything later. Another thing of tofu. Another thing of shiratake. Oh, some mushrooms. We'll do the beef later. Maybe let's get some shiitake too. Bottoms up. Oh, it's hot. That's hot. I definitely need to lower the temperature down. Okay, get the veggies and the eukaryotes pretending to be veggies. These things. Okay, maybe 1, 2. I think ideally I have like a bowl of rice, right? To put all that stuff over. But if I do rice, I'm gonna get stuffed too soon, so I don't want to do that. Because later we're gonna be doing udon anyway. So I'm gonna save my carbs for the udon. Let's get another piece of this. And some egg. I think the pan is in simmer mode, so it's not boiling as much. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. Good stuff. Not gonna support being drunk on stream, so grab some water when you can. I have some water on the side. I have some water on the side. Besides, the food's also gonna keep me sober just a little bit. I don't normally get like drunk. Or like the thing that happens with me when I get, I guess, a little bit tipsy is I chat a little bit more. You know, I don't get like crazy. If anything, I get sleepy. Okay, next bottle. Let's try this one. So, Taksasagi Company, again, with the oak. I remember having this once before. I don't quite remember what it tastes like, but it's not, I remember it not being my favorite, but let's go ahead and give this a try. Gonna do a different bottle, different glass this time, so that we don't mix sake flavors. Sleepy drunk, that's me. Yeah. Yep. Alright. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, you see that? You see how it's much darker? It looks more like piss now. I'm not excited about that one bit. Then again, this thing is supposedly in oak or something. I'm gonna put that on ice. Also, this other one that we haven't opened yet on ice. So as you can see, a lot more of a straw color. The smell is definitely more on, there's a little fruity smell. What's supposed to be in this thing? Oak? That's a joeyChin. That's the whiskey! Water, rice, koji, yeast. But aged in oak. So that's about it. Let's just give it a shot. I don't like that one as much. I don't like that one as much. Ah, jeez. Tastes like wood. I don't like this. Not my favorite. The joeyChin is definitely a whole lot better. Even though when I remember the joeyChin being better than what I just had, this is not my thing. But I poured it out, so I think I have to drink it, right? I think I'm obligated to drink that. Oh my gosh. What's the flavor of this thing? Woodsy. A little, not bitter, there's no bitterness to this. It goes down kind of smooth. The flavor is smooth, so there's nothing wrong with that part. Just the actual flavor though is terrible. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'm gonna not drink that again tonight. That's gonna go in the chiller. And if I find a coworker who wants to try it, I'm gonna give it to them for free because I already opened it. But oh my gosh, that's not great. I need some water. No, let's just eat. Eat and then water and then go for the next drink. That was terrible. Not a favorite at all. Oh, that's the wrong bowl. Let's try that again. Beef is gonna be last. Wait, I don't have much more ingredients here. Like, we're definitely not gonna have any more greens by the time we're done with this round. We're probably gonna be going for at least two rounds of ingredients, and then we'll add some more. I don't know if I'll have enough liquid here for, let's say, an udon. But I'm hoping to, because we need to end with udon. All right. Oh, I didn't like that one. It wasn't like the alcohol was super strong or anything like that. It just tasted like wood. Like, why? Why do people like the taste of wood? It's like you have beer. You have beer that's aged in oak barrels, wine that's aged in oak barrels, and the sake that's aged in oak barrels. Why wood? At least with barbecue, I can understand why you have to use wood, because wood is what you cook the meat in, right? Right? But alcohol? To get drunk in the essence of nature. I mean, I guess if you think about it, sake is also aged in barrels, but I forgot what those barrels are made of. I don't think they're made of wood, though. They might be. But I figured there's some straw or something in there, too. So it tastes more like rice than it does like wood. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that one. I gotta say though, the sukiyaki that we got going here is alright. The sukiyaki I had back in Kobe was a lot better than whatever I made here. But I just wanted to make a sukiyaki dish because, you know, it's better than just like a plain hot pot. Though the meat we have would also go well with a plain hot pot. They do tend to use different woods for aging. This tints of the flavor in different ways. I do understand that. I just don't support it. I understand it, I just don't support it because it just tastes weird. The reason why you don't see me drink on stream for the most part, other than I just don't drink a whole lot, is I don't like the taste of most alcohols. I just don't. Beer. A lot of people like beer. I'm not a fan of beer. Wine. I'm okay with most wines. White wine, red wine, that's okay. But it's like, for the most part, I just don't like the taste. Sake, as long as it's like a junmai or something really, really clean, I'm okay with that. My oak was different though. That's a no from me. That's a no from me. Okay. Now do you see how thick this piece of meat is compared to what you would get from a normal like ribeye slice used for hot pot? This is thick. It was super thick. I think it was a good call cutting this into small pieces, otherwise we would have to like deal with a giant piece of meat. It would still end up the same way. I would just be tearing it in smaller pieces. That's good though. Super good. Okay. Let's put the next round of meat in here. Ever tried Midori before? Which one's the Midori again? Is that the whiskey? I have tried a plum wine. Plum wine is okay until you don't drink the plum wine for, let's say, over 6 months. And then it becomes like super, super strong in flavor. And then what happens after that? Super, super strong in flavor, and then it just becomes too sweet. There's such a thing as alcohol that is too sweet, and I think I did not cut this correctly. I'm just gonna have to tear it. I'm sorry, beef guys, but I'm gonna have to tear this meat on stream. But it's so tender that you can actually just do that. Not a whiskey, a melon liqueur. Oh, no, I have not. Aren't liqueurs usually used to like mix in other drinks? If so, then I haven't had that one. The only alcohols I typically drink these days, other than sake, I haven't drank wine in forever. Plum wine is good. Plum wine is good. Umeshu is good. Like I said, until you leave it out for a while and then it becomes super strong. What was it? Cider. I like cider. I like apple cider. I like pineapple cider, seltzers, those kinds of things. They just basically taste like flavored water, and I'm okay with that. Just took a shot of water. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. Okay. While this cooks, I'm going to add more shirataki in here. There's 3. I'm going to add more. I'm also going to add more straw mushrooms. I'm going to add the rest of the straw mushrooms I have. Because why not? May as well. Ah! Let's go ahead and add the rest. I'm going to save the rest of the shiitake I have though, because that's still neatly packaged. And I can use that in something else later. Let's see, where is... Let's put the rest of the green onions here too. We're basically on round 2 right now. This is basically round 2. I think I should put some tofu in here too. Just a few more tofu. Usually mix it with a midori to get a midori sour. Wait, how do you make a midori sour? I've had a few highballs. Was it highball? No, it was a sour. I've had a couple of sours when I was in Japan. Basically went to this really... It's not fancy. It's just a regular izakaya, seafood izakaya that you can find everywhere. I think it's like a chain or something. I don't know the name of it anymore. But what I got at the time was a kani miso. Kani miso, I think what it is like crab shell. And in the crab shell is basically the insides of the crab. Maybe there might be some meat in there, but it's basically the yellow part of the crab that people tell you not to eat, but you do anyway because it tastes delicious. I don't know why people say not to eat it. Or these health experts say don't eat it. I don't know why. But that's what kani miso is. I also got a, what was it? Was it abalone or was it conch at the time? I don't remember. But I got one or the other. Also some squid and a pineapple sour, I think. I think I got a pineapple sour at the time, and that was great. That was good. That was refreshing. I liked that a lot. But a Midori sour, I don't think I've ever had. That's a little different. Just Midori, a sour mix, dash of lime juice, a little bit of vodka if you're feeling spicy. Gotcha. Speaking of vodka, we don't have vodka today, but we have a drink that I've never had before, and I am kind of scared of this. I am kind of scared of this. This is like supposedly a whiskey. 20% alcohol. I'd never drank a whiskey before. 4-grain whiskey from the same place. This is a Taruzake barrel-aged sake in the style of whiskey. I don't know how this is going to look. I do have one more cup for this. We are going to do it in a very small shot. I can't tell the color because it's against green, but I don't have any more clear glasses left, so it looks very straw in color. You can't really see it, I don't think. It's very hard to see on camera because of the cup. But let's give it a shot. Smooth. That's good. There's a little bit of an oaky flavor. There's a little bit of Enoki flavor, but not as strong as the oak sake. But it's milder. It's a milder oaky flavor, almost like a junmai. It's not quite as clean tasting as a junmai. I think I need a second shot of that just to get a taste of it, because I'm not quite tasting the flavor. Lower the heat down, lower the heat down, lower the heat down. Yeah, you can't really see the color, but it looks okay. I'm gonna do an oopsie as far as alcoholic mixings. We're gonna take the junmai glass. I'm gonna pour it in here, just so we can see the color of this thing. And it looks very light. It looks very light. Not as dark as the oak, for sure. But I don't think it's also. I think it's also a little bit lighter than the junmai, which is surprising because this is supposedly barrel aged. A little punch on the aftertaste, not too bad. It's almost like the junmai in flavor. Goes down smooth, not quite as clean of a flavor, but definitely not as strong as the oak. This is actually pretty good. Just be careful of this because holy crap, that alcoholic percentage is 20%. Literally war crime, I know, right? But I wanted to see the color. I want to see the color. If I have to commit a war crime to see color, okay, sure. I'll do that. That's good though. That's good. I'm not a alcohol connoisseur, so I can't give you any like rose notes or taste of fruit because I didn't taste any fruit there. It's literally what are the ingredients in this thing? What are the ingredients in this whiskey? It just says 4-grain whiskey, still in Austin. Toji Reserve Oku, extremely limited release. There's too much steam. Extremely limited release, barrel-aged premium filtered sake from a base of 4 simple ingredients: rice, water, koji, and yeast. But there's 4 grains. What are the 4 grains? It doesn't say. Aging process mellows the sake, and that's it. That's all they said. Keep cool and dark. Drink at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Enjoy with friends. I am enjoying it with chat and by my lonesome. So, I don't know if you heard the fireworks from outside, but I don't know if you heard the fireworks outside, but there are people like setting off fireworks, and it's not even midnight yet. We still got like an hour, 20 minutes or so. So it's like, what the heck? People, what the heck's going on here? Alright. I am a little bit loose, not tipsy. Can't be. Maybe a little bit more chattier. I don't know what else to talk about though. I feel like if I try to talk anything about for the next hour, 20 minutes, yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. Family visit was a miss. I think I already mentioned that. New Year's. So I tried to do some videos and stuff over the past few days, and then I just kind of wanted to celebrate New Year's Eve. I know I wasn't supposed to show up again until after the New Year, so sorry for that. Sorry for the last minute notice and whatnot, but that's just how we're doing things right now. That's hot. We usually get started around this time, but surprisingly quiet, really. I don't know, I just feel like it's a little early. Just feel like it's a little early, like, come on. Come on. Too early. I'm kind of surprised that I mean, technically, unless it's done by the city or something, it's illegal to like set off fireworks and stuff, right? Normally, and there are some people, and most of the people just don't set off fireworks because they don't have any, or it's too expensive. I heard fireworks were super expensive the past few years, so I don't know what the situation is right now. Because I don't think anyone, I don't know if people make fireworks locally. I know it's usually imported and stuff. It is illegal, but people find a way anyway, right? I mean, it's fine if you do it outside city limits. City limits. But the issue is within city limits. And literally, the neighborhood across from me is like setting off fireworks. And I'm pretty sure I'm in the city. So there's a problem right there. There's a problem right there. Also, I think I'm just gonna toss in the rest of the dashi I have because this is getting low. And if I run out of dashi, I'm just gonna have to do water. May have to do water at some point because the dashi itself, not exactly salty, but there's a lot of other flavors in there, and I think I just need to tame this down just a little bit. I do have a friend that gets super nervous whenever fireworks goes off, and I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not exactly sure why. I know there are some people that just have a fear of loud noises. And fireworks is like one of those things that are super loud and gets them really scared. It's an actual phobia. And I guess phobias don't have to make sense. But as someone who actually likes fireworks, I do have to wonder what that feels like. Because I don't have many phobias. Maybe if I have phobias, I can maybe count 2. One's an actual phobia, and the other one is not really a phobia. It's just a really strong dislike that was developed over time. Was it from a distance? Anyone would be scared if it was too up close. From a distance, as long as I can hear it. As long as I can hear it, they already get nervous. So it's like an actual phobia, rather than, they just don't like the noise. Now, for actual accidents that happen with fireworks, I have seen that before. Why does this turn into stew? Because that's what sukiyaki is. Sukiyaki is not exactly a stew, but basically what it is, it's a soy sauce and broth mixture that you cook the ingredients in, and you just kind of like take stuff out as you go. The broth itself is very strong in flavor, like super salty with a little bit of sweet. That's why you don't do the broth like directly. You dilute it with water, or you dilute it with other broth, like a lighter broth, so that you don't get all this dark sodium in your system. Is it? I have always thought it was like a hot pot or for dipping. It kind of is. Yeah, it is. It is basically a soy sauce hot pot, but it's shallow. I don't. You can't really see it on screen on the screen, but it's much shallower than a hot pot. You know, actually, a hot pot, a typical hot pot is deeper, right? It's deeper, like maybe about this much broth, and you put stuff in here. But sukiyaki, typically anyway. Let me just show you a picture of what the sukiyaki looked like when I did it when I went. You can't really see it as far as the depth of it because I didn't really have a good shot, and this was on a tripod. But you can kind of see on the picture that it's kind of shallow. It's not like filled with broth compared to like what you would have in a normal hot pot. It's just like a shallow thing of broth, and you put ingredients on top. This one has some carrots, and we have also the usual ingredients also. But you just kind of like put stuff in there as you go. I think I may have had like a bowl of rice. I may have had a bowl of rice to the side, and typically what you would do is like take this, put it over the bowl of rice, and the rice soaks up everything. But I skipped the rice this time because I don't want to get full while we're doing this, and I want to eat the udon at the end. I want to have some udon at the end, so. But yeah, we have like the slices of beef here, just soaking in the broth. A little sweet, a little salty, and then the egg. Typically, this is what you see whenever you do sukiyaki. The egg is supposed to tame the saltiness of the meat. Holy cow, that's good. Guys, I cannot stress enough how tender this thing is. Like, I can't show you with a chopstick how easy it is to tear off, but believe me when I say I bite into this thing and it just breaks off. I don't want to say it's as smooth as butter because I've had hard butter that was like frozen. So I wouldn't say that. It is very tender though. Very, very tender. Now all that marbling is there for a reason. And the actual flavor of the fat is very smooth. It's very smooth. If I actually did this as a steak, that fat would probably kill me. Not gonna lie. That is so fatty. It's so heavy in fat that you need that if you do it as steak, you can't eat a whole lot of it because it's so heavy. The sukiyaki here is actually taking most of the rendered fat away from the beef, and it's just being mixed all in here to make the broth that much better. And I don't have to deal with getting overloaded with beef fat. It's ridiculous, actually, how fatty this is. Let me just remind you, I still have a little bit of beef left, so let me just remind you what this looks like. Before it's cooked, see all that marbling? See all that fat? That is all rendered out into the broth. If you had this as a steak, you will be in a food coma for the next week. No joke. You'll be in a food coma in the sukiyaki in the beef restaurant, wherever that might be. The steak chef will be in front of you, seeing you passed out on your seat because you went into a beef coma, and he would just shake your head and say, "Oh no, not another one." Another one went into a beef coma because they ate too much A5 beef. but it's that good. It's that good. You have to, if you ever get a chance to go to Japan, I know a lot of people say get the Kobe beef, get the Kobe beef, get the Kobe beef because it's like the most famous beef. Get the A5 Kobe beef. Make sure that they actually have the plaque in the restaurant to prove it actually is A5 Kobe beef and actually A and Kobe beef at all. But if you actually have a chance to get anything other than Kobe beef, no. No. Let me go back a bit. You try if you ever get to Japan, try the Kobe beef first. Preferably in Kobe itself. That way you know it's real, and you know make sure they have the plaque, all the certificates and whatnot. Because they give out certificates for certificates of authenticity for the beef and such. So you try the Kobe beef first, if you can. Get yourself a steak dinner, get yourself a Sukiyaki dinner, whichever one. And then you forget about it. You don't ever touch Kobe beef again. You touch the other beef in Japan that's not as famous as Kobe beef, but arguably is better than Kobe beef. Because Kobe beef is like quite a bit of fat. Probably, I want to say it's more fatty than the Miyazaki beef that we have today. Just as a reminder, this is not Kobe beef. It is an A5 Wagyu. It is A5 Miyazaki beef from Miyazaki Prefecture down south in Japan. Supposedly also this is the best beef in Japan. The most celebrated beef in Japan other than Kobe beef. I don't know if that's true, but after eating it today, I believe it. I believe it's true. Because Kobe beef, whenever I ate it, it just kind of like, I bit it and it's like, I don't really taste anything different than most of the beefs here. It was very soft. But this one, I can actually taste the beef flavor. I can taste the tenderness. I can actually taste something different in the fat of the beef. I don't know if I'm just coping right now. Because I can't remember what I had 3 years ago when I had it. But this feels more flavorful than that Kobe beef I had. So I believe it. For some reason, YouTube recommended me a video of an A5 reverse burger. Just a thumbnail made me sick. When you said an A5 reverse burger, are you saying that the burger buns were made out of beef? And there was maybe bread in the middle. Is that how it worked out? How did that work out? I may watch it tomorrow, but just to check it out. But how did that work out? I will say though, even if you could have afford to buy A5 beef like on a regular basis and not just on a special occasion, don't. Not because it's expensive. It is expensive. Like I think the going rate for the beef that I have here is right about $120 per pound. $118 to $120 per pound. And we got 0.58 pounds of Miyazaki beef, which I feel like is more than enough. I was thinking maybe I should have gotten a full pound of Miyazaki beef. But after eating this, I'm thinking, yeah, 0.5 was more than enough. I think 0.5 is more than I can handle even in this form. Just because of how heavy it is. And this is already in a stew format. No bun, no bread, everything wedged between a couple of A5 slabs. So you're basically saying it's a keto burger. It's an A5 Wagyu keto burger, and why would you do that? Wagyu by itself is not fatty, but A5 Wagyu is super fatty. You saw how much fat it had earlier, and in a burger format, I think that's a little bit too much. I don't know how you're supposed to handle that. You probably can't like use your hands to eat it. I feel like that's impractical. You would have to get a fork and a knife, slice it up, and then eat it that way. Maybe with a rice on the side. But by itself, that sounds very heavy. Especially if we're talking about burgers. And each patty is like a quarter pounder. A proper burger is like at least a quarter pounder. That's a bit much. I think after this round, I'm gonna go ahead and put the udon in. I don't know if I have stomach for udon. I'm actually getting kind of full. Not gonna lie, I'm getting kind of full. Probably because of all the water I've been drinking, as well as the few sake shots. And just the amount of food that we have here. But I need to figure out what to do with the rest of the beef. I may save that for tomorrow and cook that separately tomorrow as a steak or something. That might be good. Don't know, YouTube went up the deep end to recommend me that. I don't watch that stuff ever, really. That kind of reminds me actually of this one, what do you call this? There was one video in Korea. And these are like videos my friend showed me. And now it's in my algorithm also. But the Korean food they come up with these days is like crazy. They got burgers basically as so this I'm saying this tall, but you know it's wide here. But about this big. About this big. Maybe a little taller than that. Maybe a little taller than that. Filled with a bunch of stuff including a fried chicken. A burger with a fried chicken and a bunch of other crap on it too. Apparently it's actually something that people buy. Maybe not regularly, but they buy it. I'm like, my friends were disgusted, but I'm like, I want to try it just to try it because it doesn't look bad. It just looks unwieldy. But you probably don't eat it as like a normal burger. You think they're trying to out Americans? Maybe. I know as far as making crazy food, Korea has that. They do that with their burgers, they do that with their pancakes? Are they pancakes? I don't remember anymore. But if you search up Korean food, Korean street food, I think it was. You'll see a bunch of that. You'll see a bunch of that. On one hand, it's impressive. On the other hand, it's kind of scary. Super scary. Oh, I need some more water. I need to get a little bit more water. It's drying up. Yeah, we don't want that hole in the middle. There we go. No dashi this time, just straight up water. I think the water will help when we get to the udon. Actually, should I put the udon in now? No, I kind of want to time the udon for when we get closer to New Year's. We have less than an hour left. So when maybe 20 to 15 minutes to the new year, I'm gonna put the udon in. so that it cooks and then we're ready for that. Because Asian thing, eat noodles on the new year, long life, prosperity, all that stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. The other plan earlier was to do the snack review for the Tokyo treat since I had it, but we're gonna save that for next week instead. Gonna save that next Sunday, not tomorrow, but next Sunday. Speaking of which, while we're on the subject for schedules for next month, let me just put that out here right now. Let me grab it. Preview of next month's schedule. I will have it in the community post tomorrow, as well as a waiting room if anyone actually uses those to look at schedules. Let me see, where is it? So next month, or next year rather, we're going to be starting a new series. I held a poll maybe a week or two ago. I don't remember anymore. But I held a poll recently for what game series we should be doing next. And I wasn't quite sure where this was going to go, but not a whole lot of people, voted for Horizon Zero Dawn, which understandable. But I think Death Stranding and Borderlands 2 were kind of neck and neck, which was actually surprising. I wasn't expecting that. But the one that most people wanted me to do was Yakuza 0. So we're going to be doing Yakuza 0 starting next Friday, or this coming Friday. We're going to do it this coming Friday because Friday nights apparently. And we're going to do that until we finish it, basically. I don't know how long that's going to take. I do know Yakuza has a lot of mini games, but we're only going to hit the important ones. Namely the disco and karaoke. Those are the only two that we're going to hit as far as I'm concerned. We're going to do story for the rest of the time. And hopefully that should be enough. Because I know if you really wanted to, you can like drag Yakuza out for quite a bit. Will there be Bakamitai? Of course. And I will sing Bakamitai on stream. I don't know if they have like a karaoke version where they don't sing it in game, but I will try to sing it on stream when we get to it, of course. Thought it was traditional to eat a large sushi roll in the direction of fortune or something. That is not New Year's. That is I don't know what exactly that is, but that's Japanese, and that is like whenever they have that oni bean throwing thing, that's when you do that. It's around the same time as that. If I'm not mistaken, the Japanese also do noodles. They do more like soba noodles and mochi. They do soba noodles and mochi. I actually wanted to do that also, but here we are doing fancy hot pot instead. So yeah, I want to do the soba noodles and mochi, but yeah, maybe we'll do it as a cooking thing at some other point, but or maybe something, or maybe we'll do that for next year. We'll see. Let's see. But we'll be doing Yakuza 0. I also want to bring back Mahjong to the channel. For the people who haven't been in the channel for that long, I used to do like a Mahjong podcast thing with some friends before I moved. And I haven't done that in a while because our schedules just haven't been matching up. Like, before it was manageable, but now it's like too long, and one of our members is like super busy. So I mean, it'd be better if the three people, myself included, were doing the Mahjong podcast as we have done. But if we cannot, I would rather do something a little different that still had mahjong. It may not be a podcast form, but I do kind of want to try to bring mahjong back. We'll try for the month of January to do like open room mahjongs on Saturday nights. It's probably going to be open for like 2 or 3 hours, let's say, because the games do take quite a while. Anyone who wants to play can play, and even if you don't understand the game, go ahead and join the game, and I'll teach you along the way if you have questions. It'll be kind of that format. It basically is kind of like a community night kind of thing, but mahjong. I've noticed some people were interested. I had some friends that were interested of trying it out, and I don't know, I feel like they're a little bit more interested in mahjong for some reason. So I want to bring it back, see how that goes for the month. And if it goes well enough, then we'll keep at it. We'll keep at it. Time to brush up on mahjong then. Yeah. I mean, it's mainly for fun. Mainly for fun. I don't think I'm going to go serious or all out whenever I play online, unless it's like for ranking or whatever. Because you kind of have to for ranking. Ranking is super competitive, and there are a lot of tricks that other people have that I just don't have, as well as luck. Mahjong is partially luck, is also partially skill. Still mostly luck, because you can't win every time, but you do have to have a little bit of skill on reading what everyone else is doing to be able to play correctly and not lose. The point of mahjong is not to win. I will say this over and over again. The point of mahjong is not to win. It is not to lose. So don't try to get a winning hand, but if it looks like it's going to be dangerous, you bail out as soon as possible. That way you don't get hit. Now, people could be bluffing. People could be bluffing. A good enough mahjong player can bluff you into thinking they have something when they actually don't. Or they could trick you into discarding stuff that someone may not want. They may not be going after you specifically, but I have before used tricks to bait people to give me what I want. And I used to be really, really good at it until I stopped playing. So I'm not as good at it anymore, but I used to be able to do that. And if I can do it, someone else can do it 10 times better than I can. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see what else. Yeah, it's just basically for fun. It's basically community night, but a little bit of a different community night than usual. I'll be playing like ranked when I start it, if we don't have any people to start a game with. But as soon as people start, as soon as we get people to play with, then I'll be opening up rooms. But of course, I have to warm up, because most likely there's not going to be enough people to join at the start. That's basically how it's going to be. But if it's just me playing all the time, and people still watch that, okay, maybe I'll do it for that also. But I would like to play with someone. I would like to play with a friend. I would want to play with chat. Just anyone. Because it is a nice chill game to play with. Weekend streams. Weekend streams as far as Sundays. I'm going to move it to an earlier time. I think I've been doing it 10:30 Eastern. Yeah, I've been doing it 10:30 Eastern on Sundays. I'm going to move it a little bit earlier, by about an hour and a half, to like 9 o'clock. Hopefully that is early enough for people in Asia times to make it and not too late. I do know that whenever I do the 10:30 one, it's like midnight or past midnight for a whole lot of people. and they can't do it because it's a Sunday night, and it's Monday the next day for them, like in just a few hours. So they got school, they got work and stuff like that. I would do it on Saturdays if I could, but I can't because I work Saturdays, right? So what to do? Sunday, Sunday 9 a.m. my time is the best I can do it. I can't do 8 o'clock because that's basically when I wake up. I don't want to do it as soon as I wake up. I have stuff. I have stuff I need to set up, stuff to prepare. I need to wake up myself. So 9 o'clock, and hopefully that'll work out better. We'll see. We'll see. Might as well throw poker in. Same vein. Is there like a poker website that we can use? Because I don't think I've seen anything as far as poker. I know at least in weeb circles and yeah, weeb circles anyway. Mahjong is more the game rather than poker. And I don't have Clubhouse 51 to do poker. I kind of don't want to get Clubhouse 51 because I also have to get the Nintendo subscription just to be able to play online, which sucks. But oh well. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Now, all the schedule changes I mentioned are mainly going to be in the weekends. So 3 days during the weekend for sure, Saturday, Friday, Sunday. I did not mention anything about the weekdays. Recently, we've been doing weekdays, Tuesday, at the very least. This month, I also threw in Thursday because it was going to be a shorter month. But then again, here I am streaming when I'm supposed to be taking a break. Otherwise, it would have normally been just Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. But if I have time during the weekday, I'll try to do the Tuesday stream as much as possible. Maybe a Thursday stream too. But I want to keep the weekday streams as open as possible, at least the time slots. Mainly because I want to try to make more videos this coming year. I'm going to try making more videos for the channel, maybe clips, maybe actual videos about things. I still haven't gotten around to making the travel videos I wanted to do. Instead of games during the middle of the week, I might also do like language learning streams. And it won't be Japanese, as surprising as that might be. It might be something else. But yeah, as long as it isn't too disruptive to you. I mean, I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. I enjoy streaming, right? I enjoy streaming. I do this as a hobby. I don't know if anyone. I don't know if anyone can tell. I stream as a hobby. I don't do this as a full-time content creator. I have an actual job. Okay, I shouldn't say actual job because streaming is also a job. I have a full-time job outside of streaming. I have a full-time job outside of streaming that I actually enjoy. I actually enjoy doing my job. I can actually say that. It's the reason why I can afford to do the things I do on stream despite not having a lot of subs, basically. Yeah, my job pays for this. It's a very expensive hobby. It's a very expensive hobby I don't mind putting money into because it also goes in, it is kind of related to all the other hobbies that I have video and camera related wise. So it's like, you know what, let's just do this at the same time, kind of thing. I enjoy it, so I do it. And I'll do it for as long as I can. For as long as I can. But yeah, I do want to try to make more videos though, whether it be clips and stuff. Because I do kind of want to grow the channel. Even though it is a hobby, I kind of do want to grow the channel a little bit. And I feel like I need to do some videos and clips to do that. So I had to figure out, I need to free up some time. But at the same time, I know I want to like play a ton of games on on stream that seems interesting. May or may not have seen it before. That's always been the goal of the channel, to play some games that you may or may not have seen before. Some cult classics like Yakuza, or some games you may have never seen, like the JJ Macfield game from Halloween. I would have never thought about playing that before, but I saw it. It looked interesting, so I got it and we played it, and it was very disturbing, but it was a good kind of disturbing. It was a good game. I like finding out. I like discovering good games like that. That kind of thing. So yeah. Let me take the schedule off the way because we pretty much talked about the schedule already. The broth is as dark as night right now. It's very dark as night. It's also on a simmer, so it's not too strong. I think if I'm gonna have any leftovers here, it's gonna be like broth leftovers. I don't know if you can really see it because of how dark it is, but there is a lot of fat floating in the broth, and that is all from the beef. It's not super fatty, but the fat is very noticeable. Very, very noticeable. I feel like I'm overcooking the beef, but it doesn't get tough. It's just smooth. It's just smooth. I know a lot of people like to get into streaming because one, they think it's fun. Yeah, that was me before. But they couldn't keep it up because it costs too much or takes too much commitment to do other things. And they're trying to catch up with the next biggest streamer who somehow got like 10,000 subs in like a month. Like, that's crazy. I don't exactly know what kind of magic people did to do that. It's always amazing to me how that happens, because I don't know, maybe they're outgoing, maybe they can make a lot more connections than other people. Maybe maybe they work with the algorithm. They know the algorithm so much that they can like direct views towards them based on search words or whatnot. I don't know, but I'm just trying to be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. That's the end of it, really. That's the end of it. Eventually, though, well, let's back up a bit. I think I've mentioned before where before streaming, I wanted to be a vlogger, right? Or at least do vlogging on the side. But then COVID happened and vlogging was no more. At least for the past 3 years, vlogging is very limited. But the type of vlogging I wanted to do, I couldn't do. So here we are. Here we are. Hopefully, though, I can do some vlogging when I go on a trip this coming year in October. And I don't think I'll be able to stream it. I did think about streaming it. One of my plans from back then, one of my plans from earlier in this whole streaming journey was to be able to stream travel in Japan. But the more I thought about it, the more impractical it seemed, to be honest. It's impractical because the way I travel isn't really great for streaming. And I think walking streams in general just isn't that great unless you're in the city. And I'm most of the time not going to be in the city. I am going to be mostly in the countryside. Mostly in the countryside, mostly in the woods, mostly in the mountains. May or may not have a connection. If I do have a connection, will I be able to stream it? I don't know. Normally people join me in my trips, and that would dox me super 100%. So it's like probably impractical, all things considered. Now I actually had a streamer friend that I wanted to invite for my trip this coming year, but they haven't seen their family in the past 3 years because COVID, and so they're prioritizing that, which they should. They should prioritize their family first because they haven't seen them for a while. If that happened, then I would have been able to stream it because we're they would be able to keep a secret basically. We would be able to do that. But yeah, just take a ton of SD cards and make lots of videos. Yeah, that's the other plan. I probably will go that route. Did I mention I got a GoPro recently? I think I did, right? I tested it out earlier. I still don't like it. I honestly still don't like it. But I don't have many other options as far as vlogging cameras, because I have a smaller camera that's like a point and shoot camera that actually takes videos really well. I made videos on it. I've taken lots of pictures on it also. But whenever I do like walking, whenever I walk with it, it gets so shaky. That's not good. It's not good for walking videos. So I think the GoPro is really my best shot. It's extremely stable. It's extremely stable for walking, cycling, all the action things that you want to do with it. I'm actually super impressed with that regard, but the battery life on that thing is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible, because I think it's like 2 hours. Minimum of 2 hours, average of 2 hours that it lasts. And then it just dies. So I would have to have like several batteries, several SD cards, because each SD card, 128 gigabyte SD card can hold up to 4 or 5 hours worth of footage. And I'm gonna be there for how long? 3 or 4 weeks? I'm gonna have to also bring like a hard drive, an external hard drive to offload that. No, wait, no. The GoPro came with a subscription for the cloud, so I can upload as much videos as I want on the cloud. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that part. But I think I may have to, like, let's say if I take at least 4 hours of video each day, 4 times 20. Let's just say 20. 4 times 20. That is 80 hours of video. That is a lot of video. I already take way too many pictures on each trip. I take like 1,000 pictures each week on average. And then I add 80 hours of video on top of that to sift through. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. That is a lot. Might want to make sure that as much as you want doesn't have an asterisk next to it. What asterisk would that be? Because I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you mean the cloud storage? Supposedly it's unlimited. We'll see how unlimited it is. I'm pretty sure there are people who take more videos than I do. I am just a chronic picture taker, so there is that. there is that. I think I need to add a little bit more water in here. There's a little spot here that's not good to have. So 1 more cup of water. Hopefully that'll be enough for this dish. Ah, my foot! It's like tingling. Very tingly foot. Notice I haven't had another shot of alcohol tonight. We just tasted the 3. We just tasted the 3 shots of alcohol, and not doing any more tonight. I could. I don't really want to. I prefer water, to be honest. I just prefer water. Yeah, I just don't want to effort to disappear into nowhere. I get that. I get that. I don't know if I told this story before. It was a very... It's a very sad story for me, but I'm not sure if I've ever told this story before. But on my first trip to Japan, it was a trip where I went to visit a friend who was finishing up grad school. And so after grad school, they would have to leave the country and go back to where they came from. Let's put the udon. Let's get started with the udon. So I went there for 10 days, which is way too short for a Japan trip. Let's just get that out of the way. 10 days is too short for a Japan trip, unless you're in one city and one city only. I went to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 places. Four cities in 10 days. If you think about it, that's a little bit more than 2 days each, which is not enough time. Actually, when I went to Hiroshima that time, I was only there for barely half a day. I got there in the middle of an afternoon, saw a festival that was happening. It was the Peace Park Memorial Festival. It was very energetic. There were a lot of people on Heiwa Street, Peace Street, which is right next to the Hiroshima Peace Park. There were a lot of people there, a lot of stands, a lot of performances. Basically high schoolers, and I guess just mostly high schoolers from what I gather, and local people doing dances and taiko routines as in a parade. That's basically the most of the parade anyway. But yeah, and there were a bunch of festival foods. I don't remember if I got anything at that time. I don't think I did. I just basically walked around, went to like a building that does only okonomiyaki. Okinomura is, I think, what the building is called. It's basically a building with a bunch of okonomiyaki stands in there. And you just go to whatever stand is open, pick your favorite one, and just try different things. It was very filling. I would recommend to just go in there and try whatever is available, because there's a lot of stands available in multiple floors. And make sure not to eat anything before then, because it will put you in a food coma afterwards, and you must finish everything. That is the basic food etiquette in Japan. Finish what you order. Do not order more than what you can finish, because the waste of food is heavily, heavily looked down upon. End of story. End of story. It's also possibly why you don't really see buffets in Japan, though they do exist. They're not the same as anywhere else, as far as I can remember. They do exist though, just probably not the buffets what you're used to. Let's see what else. So that was very fun. I also went to a cave up north that I didn't like very much because the cave. Whenever I think of a cave, I think this. I think of this mostly pristine cave like the Carlsbad Caverns. Went to Carlsbad before. You're not supposed to touch the stalactites or stalagmites because that rubs off oil on them and it also causes them to basically die. They stop growing and you know you want them to keep growing for as long as they can, naturally. But if you touch them, the oils prevent the water from dripping and it's just not good. It's just not good. So, yeah. But this cave I went to, it was called Ryusendo up near Morioka up north. Went there on a day trip basically. It was quite a task to get up there because I had to take the bullet train up to Morioka. Didn't know that Morioka was apparently home to like 3 different noodle dishes, and that was fun. That would have been fun if I actually knew about that. At the time, I didn't. But I went there for a cave because I was into like cave walking and stuff at the time. So went to the cave. Basically, found out the cave is not really a tourist trap, but there are a lot of people that basically were very, very touchy with all the stuff in the cave, and there was nothing there preventing them from touching the cave. So I got a little bit upset about that because I just felt it was so different than what do you call this? How I'm used to seeing caves being treated. But the main attraction of that cave apparently was that there is an underground river flowing through the cave, and so I did see that they had a bunch of lights to show the water and stuff, which was neat, I guess. That's a lot of udon. So went through that, was really disgusted at what I saw, got out as soon as possible, but it was still an experience, so now you know the story. And then I guess I went to Kyoto for like 2 or 3 days, and then on my last day of Kyoto, my SD card that I was using for my camera at the time fried, and I lost 7 days worth of photos, including photos and videos. 7 days worth of photos and videos, including all the food I ate, all the festivals I saw, all the cave stuff I saw, all the random small things I took a picture of, all gone. And I was devastated. So yes, it sucks to lose that. And I think at the time, Google photo updates were not a thing. So even if I did have a phone and my SD card failed, that still would have happened. But it so happened to have worked. It so happened to happen on the camera. I don't know if I still have that SD card to this day. But even if I still did have it, trying to recover that apparently costs an arm and a leg. And I don't think I want to spend that much money to try to recover what was in it. Because it was like ridiculous. Upwards of maybe 1,000 from what this one guy quoted. And it's not even guaranteed that you can recover it. Which, why is that not a guarantee? The data should still be imprinted in there somewhere. It's just, I think the circuitry burned out a little bit. But for some reason they say it's not guaranteed and I have to pay close to 1,000. No, thank you. I'd rather just have it in my memory at this time and the broken card as a memory of that. But it's like, it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. So yeah, I get it. The unlimited data on the cloud May or may not be actually unlimited data, but we shall see. We shall see. Maybe I'll back some stuff out myself, but most of the video is going to be that. Okay, we got some udon here. I'm just going to let this cool for a little bit. We have like 20 minutes. Maybe also closer to midnight, I'll get the sake out so we can do a toast and end the night. There's some beef still here left. 1, 2, 3 pieces of beef. That's like half a slice of beef. I'm honestly a little stuffed right now. Not stuffed that I can't eat a bowl of udon like this thing over here, but this is quite a bit of food. It's quite a bit of food. Very worth it though. Very worth it. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about, to be honest. We got 20 minutes left too. 20 minutes left. As far as what I want to do with the channel, I guess goals for next year. Just do more videos, do more of that kind of thing. Just see how far I can get with this thing. Yeah, that's it basically. That's it. I hopefully by the end of the year we can get closer to that 1,000. Supposedly also YouTube has in store like lower tier stuff that is not full monetization plans, but I don't know what that is, but we'll see. What about the thing you want to change for yourself? Learn more Japanese? You can always do Japanese learning stream. Yeah. So for me myself, what I want to do is make more videos, right? More videos, like maybe like travel related videos. I posted like a food ASMR kind of thing. I don't know how people like that. I thought it was like I feel like it's something that some people might want, but I feel like if I'm gonna do more of that stuff, I have to put it on a different channel because algorithm stuff apparently. But we'll see. But yeah, travel tips will probably go into a different channel if I do that. Because like if I try to put it in the same channel, I don't know, it feels like it might be mixed up a little bit. Maybe. I do have the vlog channel listed, and I haven't really put much stuff in there, but I probably should put more stuff in there. We'll see. We'll see. Japanese learning streams. I'll probably do Japanese learning streams, but also I want to do Filipino learning streams. I've been meaning to do that. I haven't done any language streams in a long time because it's a bit of a pain to continue that kind of thing. Let's see what else. Like if I do all my learning on stream, I feel like it's like super slow. So I need to do like learning on stream and off stream. But for the stuff that I can show on stream, I feel like what can I show on stream? Because otherwise it would be a daily thing, right? And well, I guess even if you're learning a language in school, it's not daily. It's like 2 or 3 times a week. So I don't know. I gotta figure something out in that sense. What else? Yeah, just get better at making videos. Get better at Japanese. Get better at and Tagalog, Filipino, because that is actually my other language. But I'm so rusty. I have the skills of a 3rd grader, basically. Japanese, the thing with Japanese is that I'm better at it when I'm actually in Japan, but outside Japan, it's a little bit more difficult because I'm not in the place where I could actually use it a whole lot. So it's like time and place kind of thing. It's situational. It's like if I really, really try, I can spout some basic Japanese phrases in a basic conversation on stream, but I would have to talk to someone to be able to do that. If it's just me myself, it's a little bit more difficult. That's just me though. Takes practice, a lot of practice to get better at different languages. Yeah, yeah. At the very least, I can understand a very basic. I can understand very basic Japanese. I can read very basic Japanese. Can't do any kanji because kanji is pain. But basic stuff, yes, I can do that. Can do the basic stuff. See if I can make this at least a little pretty on the camera. I know it's like super dark because of all this soy sauce here. Could do a collab with someone who knows Japanese, like Reina, for instance. Does Reina know Japanese? The thing with Reina, I tried setting up a collab with her, but our time zones are so far apart. I don't know when we'd be able to actually do it. That's the issue. We're like 3 hours apart. So by the time she can actually start streaming, I would be going to bed. So it's a little tough to schedule that, unless maybe it's on a weekend? Question mark. Otherwise, you can do one of those games which implement Japanese learning in it. I have looked into a few. There is one that I want to play when it comes out. It's like this photography thing and kind of looks like a typical Japanese neighborhood. I forgot what it's called, but it's in my wish list. Learn Japanese RPG, Hiragana Forbidden Speech. Let me put that on a notepad so I don't forget it. I'll look that one up. But I know there's another one that I want to do. The thing I find about the Japanese learning games is that apart from very basic phrases and sentence structures, they don't get very far. And maybe not the best way to learn it, but I'll definitely check it out, see how it goes. I did notice that Duolingo has some stories. Like other than the lessons themselves, Duolingo has like stories that kind of play out like a drama, I think, or like these absurd situations. So it does have that. I might do a couple of those on stream because I've noticed them, but I haven't actually done them. See how well I actually understand what the heck is going on and respond properly. That might be interesting. We'll see. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions regarding those learning games, I'll look them up because I've seen a few, but I don't know which ones are actually the ones that might actually be good. Because I'm a little bit iffy about most of those. And I'm almost out of water. That's not good. I'm going to be back really quick. I need to refill my water. And yeah. Enjoy the bubbly ASMR. Be right back. Gosh. Can't believe we had this pot simmering for over 2 hours now. It's ridiculous. And there's still a lot of leftovers too. Lots of leftovers. I think also part of me is trying to figure out what it actually means to be a streamer. When I went into this, I never thought of myself as an entertainer. I actually still don't think of myself as an entertainer as far as streaming goes. It's just, I don't know, it's just not something I'm, it's just not something I think I'm good at. It's funny saying that because that's kind of what you expect from a streamer, right? Entertainment, I think. But I don't think I'm actually good at that. So if I'm not good at that, what am I good at? What am I good for as a streamer? I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't have an answer for myself just yet. At one point, I was just satisfied with being a curator because in my very base, like my, what do you call this? At my heart, I am a curator. I'm an observer. I am a curator. That's what I tend to do. I used to do like a lot of Grand Blue Fantasy event curating for that, yeah, events. You know, whenever the events for Grand Blue Fantasy came out, I used to record a lot of those events and put them up on YouTube until they took my other channel, my original channel down. So that's gone forever. And I feel like I can still do some sort of curating, but instead of curating, it's like checking out different games, like, you know, like that badass gamer guy or Markiplier, I guess. I think I'll take a lot of at least I don't see a much badass gamer person, but I do see a little bit more Markiplier, at least on my feed. So maybe you'll see some influences of him here and there. I mean, the people I'd like as far as streaming goes are like these super energetic people, but I'm not energetic like that. I'm just not energetic like that. I work better with another person. I will say this. I work better with other people on stream. Like, especially if you're a good friend of me and I can throw jabs and jokes at you that might be a little painful for most people. I'm better at that. But solo, definitely not a solo. Definitely not a solo person. I will admit that. Most people don't think like that. They set themselves as a friend, curator. Yeah, curator is just basically taking different things that they like to collect and put them in one place. Like there's there's curator of arts, like a museum or an art gallery is a curation of arts and paintings and whatnot. And then there's people who like collect different games of certain types and then set up channels of those type of games, I guess. I have thought about this before. If anyone considers me as a friend, as far as stream is concerned, I am flattered. It's just whenever I call someone as a friend, for me, a friend has a deeper meaning to it. But I don't think anyone would be flattered to hear that they're acquaintances, right? But I don't know. Maybe it's just my definition of what a friend is. It's probably a bad time to actually say that. But if you guys like hanging out here with whatever I do here, I think that's good. That's good enough for me, I guess. But I do need to figure out how to do things better. Do things better. Because I feel like if there's like a friend relationship between streamer and chat, doesn't that get a little parasocial? I don't know. I know there's this whole thing with parasocial and stuff that I still don't quite understand, but I do know there is a line that shouldn't be crossed regarding romance and stuff like that. That gets weird. That gets weird. But Some people do. I mean, I guess there's quite a few people that set themselves up for the girlfriend experience, boyfriend experience kind of thing, and power to them. I would cringe. I cringe when I kind of actually want to try doing like a what do you call it, a voice clip or something like that, a voice video. Like just for fun, because I think it's funny. I think it's funny to make a video like that saying, "Oh, honey, I love you so much. How," and that kind of thing. I can't even think of what the lines typically are. I just think it's funny, and I think it would be fun to do that, like maybe once, just to see if I can pull it off. Or I mean, I think I tried to do that once before, but it wasn't really exactly like a boyfriend experience kind of thing. But it came off very tsundere-ish. It came off very tsundere-ish, and I don't know. I will admit though, I will admit, like if I did this 10 years ago, and this kind of streaming existed 10 years ago, I probably would have done that. I probably would have done that because I will admit that about 10 years or so ago, I was a huge tsundere. I was a huge tsun. I'm not so much these days. Before, it would be much easier to make me into a tsun. These days, it's not as easy. That's what time does to you. It gives you experiences, it gives you immunities, maybe for better, maybe for worse. But yeah, I feel like if I am 10 years too late to this thing, but I'm still trying my best, the best way I can. The way I can. The way I know how to. Which is not what everyone else is doing. But I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Man. I'm not gonna lie, being soon gives me such happiness. I don't know why. Because it's this idea of being in love with someone, right? It's this idea of being in love with someone and feeling those feelings in your heart, in your chest, and like you want to be with them, but you don't want to admit it, kind of thing. And it's like, I don't really want to say it. I don't really want to say it, but everyone can see it. But how do you bring it up with that person? How do you tell them you actually like them? Because what if they reject you, kind of thing? It's tough. It's super tough. The fear of rejection is tough, and that's why being a student is just like that kind of fleeting. Maybe not fleeting, but I guess being a student is a defense mechanism for rejection or the thought of rejection. You don't want to admit it because you don't want to be rejected. At least that's what I think. I could be wrong about that. But they're not that. But they show no interest in you. That's the thing. They show no interest in you, but you like them back for whatever they are. And that's probably why I'm still single. Oh my gosh. And this is why you're still single. Ah, well. 2 minutes until the new year. No fireworks on stream. I do not have that kind of video up. But I should get the drinks ready. We already had shots of alcohol. I think I'm going to go back to the whiskey. The whiskey was good. The whiskey was great. We're going to go back to this. We're going to take a shot of whiskey. We're also going to take a shot of noodles. It's going to fill this up. A huge helping Oh crap! That went into the sukiyaki. That is possibly equal to 2 shots worth of whiskey. 20% alcohol. Really good 4-grain whiskey. How many more seconds do we have? 20 seconds to go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do the 10-second countdown. That 20 seconds is too much of a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Clinking against an empty glass. Kanpai! Oh, 1 shot. Oh, I'm gonna regret that tomorrow. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for being here. We're also gonna have to eat some noodles because if I don't, I'm gonna get drunk too quickly, and you know, we gotta do the noodle thing. Itadakimasu. Noodle. Wow. I will say though, the mix of whiskey and noodles is very, very weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna finish the noodle off first. Yeah, I'm not a whiskey person. That's like my first whiskey. The thing is, the whiskey I just drank is not your traditional whiskey made of barley or whatever whiskey is normally made out of. It's like a sake type of whiskey. I don't know what that is exactly, but it's 4 grains, rice with 3 other things. So I don't know exactly what that is. But it goes down very smoothly. I don't mind drinking that. The oak though, the oak sake, never again. I need to figure out how to get rid of it without tossing it out. Man, the fireworks are in full blast outside. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm in full blast. I'm not much of a drinker. I rarely drink. I don't get drunk that easily. I don't get tipsy that easily. But drinking 2 shots worth, I think there's like a 2-shotter glass here, maybe 2.5, is more than I drink typically at one time. Typically, the drinks I do drink, maybe a hard seltzer, like a pineapple hard seltzer or lemonade hard seltzer, or cider. Those are the typical drinks I would drink. Hard alcohol like whiskey is not something I typically drink. I think this one's lower than a typical whiskey though. Happy New Year, Snow! Welcome! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I need to also say Happy New Year to a few people here. Oh, so, let's see. I need to say it in the Discord. Both the friend Discord and Happy New Year in the Discord and the friend Discord and friend. My other friend, Skylar, is streaming right now. She's probably still streaming Pokemon right now, trying to drown out the noises from outside. So, yeah. Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for sticking around for so long. The meal is basically over. I'm gonna have to figure out how to pack this up. Like, there's a bunch of udon still here. I'm not gonna be able to finish that tonight. I'm gonna have to separate that into a different container and put the leftovers somewhere. I also still have I also still have some beef that has not been used. So I'm gonna refrigerate this so it doesn't go bad and have to like use it tomorrow. Well, it's already tomorrow. I'm gonna have to use it in the morning, maybe on lunch or something. I'm gonna have to like pan fry it. Happy New Year, KDG. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Happy New Year to you. We already we already ate noodles and drank some sake to celebrate the New Year's. So that's good. I'm not drunk. I'm not even tipsy. I'm not even tipsy, but I'm probably a little bit more talkative than usual though. That's the alcohol. And the water. The water is keeping me from getting drunk as well as the food. Did you know the reason why you get hungover is because alcohol dehydrates you. So the more dehydrated you are, the more hungover you will be in the morning. So to prevent that, drink something to hydrate yourself before going to sleep or before passing out. That way you're not as bad in the morning. Just saying. I think that's how it goes. I've never been drunk enough to pass out, but have been tipsy enough to fall asleep in like 30 minutes to an hour typically is what happens. But that's not happening today. But let's see. Maybe I should go ahead and send a Happy New Year's to the family too while I'm at it, even though I am ahead of them in time zone wise. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Even though I'm ahead of them. So let's see, Happy New Year. And Happy New Year. Thank goodness for copy and paste for a very simple greeting. Happy New Year. Wow, outside is really full on with the fireworks right now. Can I even see it? I can't see the fireworks from here, but I can hear them. Oh, I see it. Okay. I think the fireworks are actually coming from the business district or downtown or whatever that thing is called. There's like two locations of fireworks. One is closer to me, the other one's much further away. So I don't know what's going on, but someone's throwing a lot of fireworks now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean up here, because there's a lot of stuff here I need to clean up. You're that close that you can hear it? Yeah. I mean, it's not super loud, it's kind of muffled, but I can hear it and I can see it. I can see it from my window, basically. There's no one at my place throwing fireworks, at least, not that I can hear. But I can hear what is ever outside my window. I don't know how it is in other countries, but I know back in the Philippines, when I used to be in the Philippines, firework accidents were a huge thing, and they would always show the worst injuries on TV. It's like very graphic hand injuries, missing fingers and whatnot. Not great. So whenever I hear people throw fireworks like this, it kind of makes me nervous, but I know people here are a little bit better than that sometimes. You can go to jail for fireworks, yeah. Supposedly that happens here too, but no one bothers with it. Missing fingers, yep. This was like years and years ago. It might still be a thing, or it might be the same warning that they throw every single year when people say don't use fireworks if you're not used to it, or at least, don't if you're not careful with them, you would lose fingers, because that, I don't know if it's real. But I believe it's real. If you're too close to some of the bigger fireworks, it could injure you. Maybe not missing fingers specifically, but it can injure you. Yeah, that's a thing. Only in the Philippines. Only in the Philippines. But yeah, I think. I already talked about my goals for next year and what the schedule is going to be. So I don't think I can say much more than that. I will have the schedule posted on both Twitter and the community tab, as well as the channel. It's going to be a separate waiting room for the schedule. I'm going to try to bring that back, even though I don't even know if anyone actually looks at those. I'm surprised anyone actually looks at the community posts. So thank you for the people who actually do look at the community posts. That's encouraging. But I'm going to have the schedule up in those 3 places by the morning, hopefully. And I think I will... What is today? It's already the 1st, right? So I'm not streaming today because, holy crap, what are we doing right now? I streamed twice on New Year's Eve. I streamed in the morning and I streamed again for the Sukiyaki. So I'm not streaming today. I was going to stream on Monday the 2nd. I don't know if I'm still going to do that. But I do want to stream again by Tuesday. We have some unfinished business from the previous year. We still have a revenge match in Slay the Spire. The mod in Slay the Spire. We still have a revenge match for that. We need to finish that. And also we need to finish the internet shenanigans in Hypnospace. So we're going to take the first part of the first week of the new year, clean up some unfinished business, and then we'll continue with the rest of the year doing other things. So, yep, I'm going to clean up now because there's a bunch of stuff here. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me on this on this New Year's celebration. I hope to be someone that you are proud to watch and follow in the coming year. I will try my best with whatever I can do. And I hope you support me in the coming year. So thank you all for your support up to now. And I hope for your support again in the coming years. So thank you very much. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go clean up and sleep. I'll try to put some pictures up of the food that isn't this mess right now. Is the picture quality better? I mean, I put a lot of lights, but I don't know if the picture quality is that much better. I can't tell from this angle. I'm very far from my monitor and I can't really tell. I think it's better. But also the dish we have right now is like black as night because of the soy sauce. Ay, because of the soy sauce. Yeah, lights do help it, at least. Lights do help it. All right, let's see. Okay. All right. Again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time, whether it be Monday or Tuesday. I'm still going to decide on that one. But until next time, see ya. Have a nice rest of your day. Have a nice rest of the year. Have a good year, everyone. And what else am I going to say? I don't know what else to say. Have a Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. See you later. See ya.